Welcome to the set of tutorials on the E&M management system. This is a system that we will use as physicians in order to bill the patients that we see. In this first tutorial, I want to talk to you about what we're going to discuss in the next set of tutorials. So it's an introduction and the disclaimer. So right off the bat, let's talk about the disclaimer, since that's really important. I'm not a coder, I'm a kidney doctor, and I learned this from other people who are coders. I didn't take a specific class. I'm just telling you what I've learned in my experience being a physician. This is not meant to replace a coder, so that's number one. I'm not a coder, and these tutorials are not meant to replace coders. These tutorials are meant for you to understand what coders are doing so that you can bill appropriately for the effort and the services that you provide for patients. I'm not saying that you necessarily need a coder, but coding is a pretty cumbersome, not necessarily complicated, but cumbersome process. You might want to spend more of your time seeing patients and less of your time trying to code correctly. But you put your coder in a very good position if you understand what you're doing in terms of documentation, and that's what these videos are meant for, to teach you how to document correctly so that your coder codes appropriately and you are reimbursed correctly. So the videos don't replace the coder. And I don't want to take any responsibility for any audits that you get now or in the future. So no responsibility for any audits by CMS or any other agency. Alright, so this is a set of videos that will hopefully teach you how to code correctly, but not necessarily replace a coder, and they won't prevent you from getting audited, because I don't work for CMS. I don't know how they audit, but this is some basic things you ought to know about the disclaimer. So what are we going to talk about? That's why you're really here. The agenda or the introduction is as follows. We're going to go take an overview of the E&M system, talk about elements and components, and then items. So elements, components, and items. We're going to talk about the scoring system. The scoring system, now let's be honest with each other, is designed for you to be reimbursed less than the effort you put in. The scoring system is really not physician friendly, and there's no real spin I can put on it. But this is my opinion, and you'll see why I have this opinion in later tutorials. And then we'll do some examples. So you get an idea of how you can score correctly and how you could have made some missteps. I'm a kidney doctor, and so I'm going to keep this tutorial kidney focused, but it ought to be good for any internal medicine physician or any specialty physician. But I'm going to use a lot of examples in the world of nephrology, because that's what I'm most familiar with. So let's move on to the next set of videos. In the first set, we're going to talk about the elements. We're going to do an overview, and then we'll delve right into the different elements and components and the items.